Hello, friends. Welcome to the YouTube channel of Life and More. Today we have with us Miss Aditi Shrivastava. She's a senior teacher at Transcendental Meditation and academic advisor at MUIT, located in Noida. Welcome, Aditi.
Thank you.
So, tell us first a little bit about yourself. How did you come into meditation and all?
I have been practicing transcendental meditation for a long time. I was very fortunate to have learned it as a child. I was 9 or 10 years old, and
How
it
was
came
that?
easily.
How was
I
that?
was, yeah, it came easily because my parents were practicing
Okay.
TM, so it was just very natural for us as children to
Hmm,
learn it.
hmm,
So it
hmm,
has been there with me for a long time. And
hmm,
few years back, like I decided that I want to go for further training in this
hmm,
field, and then
hmm.
so that I'm able to teach it to other people.
Okay. Hmm. So you joined MUIT.
Yes, MUIT is one of the things that I'm doing. There's a department of consciousness that we have established. So
Okay.
where the students come for their higher education, they choose different fields. It could be
Mm-hmm.
anything. It could be
Mm-hmm.
law, it could be engineering, animation, or yoga, or anything. But
Mm-hmm.
what we do through the consciousness department is that we also give them this experience of meditation, this experience of transcendental
Okay.
meditation, so that they are when they pass out from college, they are good in their field, but at the same time they are equipped to handle the day-to-day challenges that
Mm.
that
Better,
can come up.
better placed in their minds.
Yes, absolutely. And their ability to handle stress,
Mm.
stressful situations, which definitely are going to arrive, as they
Yeah.
progress. So
Yeah.
that is my role at MUIT. And through that consciousness
Mm.
department, the consciousness
Mm.
program, which enables them to actually experience their own consciousness through this practice of TM.
Mm. Okay. So now tell me what exactly, how is TM different from the normal meditations that we do? Not that everybody does.
Yes. Uh, Transcendental meditation, it's quite different in many ways.
Mm.
Um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
three things I would say. One, it
Mm-hmm.
is very easy to do. Usually,
Okay.
meditations are considered to be very difficult, that we have to focus somewhere, or, we have to
Mm-hmm.
practice a lot of mind control. And, some benefit will come if we are practicing it for a long time. So,
Yeah.
TM is none of this. That is not difficult. It's very easy to practice, and it's very
Okay.
practical also. In the sense, we don't
Mm-hmm.
really need to change anything about ourselves. Whatever our
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, whatever our eating habits, whatever the way we like to dress, however, whichever time we want to wake up. So it's very practical. So it is beyond all of
Mm-hmm.
these differences that people are there. Nothing to do with culture or religion or educational level. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
practical that ways. Secondly, it is a very researched meditation technique. I can
Mm-hmm.
easily say that no other meditation technique in the world has been researched to this extent. So all the benefits of TM that people experience, or that we see, they are all backed by science. And top
Mm-hmm.
universities of the world in
Mm-hmm.
different countries have been regularly researching on TM. So for the
Okay.
last 45 years, continuous research has
Mm-hmm.
been going on. So it's a very
Okay.
established meditation technique.
Hmm.
The results
Do
are
you
also
mind?
verified.
Do you mind like actually showing it? How you do it? What's the process?
I can explain the process, and
Mm-hmm.
so the process is that we learn it for 5 days. We take about 5 days,
Mm-hmm.
about 1.5 to 2 hours every day. That's the
Mm-hmm.
time required. And the teacher guides you through different uh, there are some theoretical sessions, some sessions involve practice of the meditation. There's a session which is a one-to-one session with a person, in
Mm-hmm.
which we're actually explaining the technique. So it's a very
Mm-hmm.
personalized thing. So could some
Mhm.
sessions are one to one also. So
Mhm.
that kind of an attention we give to the person. So it takes
Mhm.
about 5 days to learn it. And once you learn it, then you can easily practice it twice a day on your own, 20 minutes in the morning
Okay.
and 20 minutes in the evening. And it is done while sitting comfortably with closed eyes. No special yoga positions or no special mudras are needed. Very comfortably, we
Mhm.
can sit and practice it. But yeah, we
Okay.
need those 5 days to actually explain the process to you.
Mhm.
And we were talking about how it is different from other meditations. One of
Mhm.
the uh, key differences that TM helps us go beyond. Like, go
Mhm.
beyond what? Go beyond the usual thinking process that we are in.
Mhm.
Like, our mind is always occupied with thoughts. Something or the other
Mhm.
keeps on going in the mind. And according to one of the studies, an average person has more than 70,000 thoughts in a day.
Oh my God.
So, what TM very effortlessly lets us do is go beyond that mental chatter and experience more and more deeper levels of our own consciousness. So, that is the
Mhm.
value of TM, that it helps us go beyond, takes the mind beyond what it usually experiences.
Mhm. And how does it, nowadays, as you said earlier, stress and anxiety, and to a great extent, depression also. Stress is more, depression maybe less in numbers, but it is there. And many people, they talk about it, many don't talk about it. So, how does TM help them? One thing is that it will help a normal person deal with it. But if a person is already affected, how far can it help?
TM is quite helpful because
Mm,
generally what happens is, stress, everyone faces some amount of stress. But
mm.
in some cases, it tends to build up to such an extent that it leads to more, it manifests into, more
Depression.
serious issues. It could result into
Mm,
depression or some other chronic ailment.
mm,
Even some physical health related problems can arise because of accumulation of stress. So what TM
okay.
does, it has both a preventive role, like you said, and also a curative
Mm,
approach, because it
okay.
has the ability to remove the stresses from our physiology.
Okay.
And this happens because it gives a very deep level of rest, a very profound rest. When the mind and body get that, automatically the stress finds its way out. And once the stress is removed, we see we are already, in a better position in terms of health, be it physical health or mental health. And many researchers are also there which document this.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
research which shows that the cortisol hormone, it reduces
Mm-hmm.
with the
Mm.
practice of TM, which is related with stress, the
Okay.
stress hormone, which is called commonly. So,
Okay.
and
So, is there
endorphins
any
increase.
data? Is there any data to support that? Like data in the sense that you practice TM for these many days and the benefits, these benefits will come. You practice it for, say, suppose a month, this will be the benefit. 2 months, this will be the benefit. Any empirical data on that?
Yes, lots of data is there.
Okay.
More than 700 studies are there which have been published,
Mm-hmm.
and many of them are in the area of health. And
Mm-hmm.
like this study I mentioned, that the cortisol level decreases,
Mm-hmm.
burnout and exhaustion was measured, and within
Mm-hmm.
3 months the people could see the difference. This is
Okay.
the study on
So that
burnout
means a
done in
minimum of
US.
3 months of daily meditation is required. Daily TM is required to at least come to a certain level of good health.
Well, the research showed results within 3 months, and when we
Okay.
publish a research, it has to be very specific, very accurate, and
Mm-hmm.
measured over a long period of time. So there is no chance of any
Yeah.
error or anything. But
Mm-hmm.
personally, what I've experienced, that when we teach people,
Mm-hmm.
within 4 or 5 days they start feeling a difference.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, within 4 or 5 days they start feeling a difference. Of course, every person is different, and
Mm-hmm.
they could feel it in different ways. But researchers generally, we do it minimum for at least for 3 months, so that they're very
Ah,
strong
ah.
researchers.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, you said that the students who come to for other courses are taken into like these meditations and all consciousness department works on that. Are there certain students who specifically come for that? Like not the students, but other people, like people like me, common people who know about it and then they join. Do they do that? Are there students
Yes.
like that?
Yes, yes. So we have the university, and we also have
Mm-hmm.
meditation centers. So it is
Mm-hmm.
not necessary that the person has to join the university for learning
Acha.
TM.
Okay.
So we have meditation
Okay.
centers also, many places across India. So,
Okay.
and it's a 5 day course for someone, someone like
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
anyone who would like to do it for
Uh,
their own selves,
mm-hmm.
practice it for their own benefit. So it's a 5 day course,
Mm.
and they can come to the centers and learn it. For the
Okay.
universities, also, like, we have courses specifically on consciousness, specifically on yoga,
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
students who are more interested in getting to know that field deeper, they can enroll
Mm-hmm.
in those courses.
Mm-hmm.
But for everyone, it's the experience of meditation which is important, which
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily to study about it so much.
Yeah, yeah. And then somebody wants to become a teacher in that, so they have to do that course.
Yes, if someone wants to become a teacher, then yeah, there's of course the personal practice and then advanced courses.
Mm.
And then, once the teacher feels
Certificate.
that you are ready to take up the course, they can recommend you. And then it's a 6 months
Mm.
training, residential training,
Acha.
to become a
Okay.
teacher of TM. Yes.
Okay. Okay. ठीक है. And what I gather is TM is good for all kinds of people across all age groups, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Huh. So, when we talk about the corporate setting, uh, do you see, because in MNCs there's a lot of stress. There is stress otherwise also, but it's
We
more
have, yeah.
experienced in MNCs and all. So, do you have any specific workshops for them? Do you hold those workshops or do they come to you,
It
this
could be both
specific
ways.
group?
It
Hmm.
could be both ways. If the
Hmm.
company as a whole would like to take it up, for their employees, our trainers can go to their premises.
No,
Like,
I'm asking, are they doing that?
yes, yes, many of the companies are doing that.
Acha.
Yes, and
Okay.
individually also they can come to the center. Many of the companies, like I
Okay.
had this was few years back, but I had taken a course at
Huh.
Jubilant Energy, and then at
Okay.
WHO we've had a course. So yes,
Okay.
because the thing is, people are realizing that
Hmm.
they need a coping mechanism for the amount of stress
Hmm.
that we all face every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's the reason, that even UN declared World
Hmm.
Meditation Day. So 21st
Hmm.
December 24, we
Hmm.
celebrated the first World Meditation Day. Now imagine the
Hmm.
UN also recognizing the importance of it. So people
Hmm.
do recognize. Yes.
Hmm. Are there certain people who are who don't bother about it, like who are maybe in some way averse to it? Ki, no, no, I don't need this.
Yes, I mean, people can think differently, and there could be,
Hmm.
people who kind of not
So,
wanting to
do
take
you
it up
try to
immediately.
do you try to motivate them? Matlab, as a social, not as a taking them as students or something, but as a social responsibility. Do you work along those lines? Maybe as a
Yes.
center, as a university, that this is something which is required for everyone.
Yes, see, the university,
Mm,
of course, all the students, even all the faculty and staff members,
mm,
that this technique, it's available to them for their
mm,
benefit. People
mm.
who don't want to do, we definitely tell them about it. We
Mm.
explain what the technique can offer, how it can fit into their
Okay.
routine, and we explain all of those things. But
Mm,
definitely, it's the individual decision that obviously
mm.
takes over. But people
Yeah.
do decide. Sometimes they postpone it, they want to think more about
Mm,
it, whether I want to go for
mm,
it. Sometimes they ask us for
mm,
more, reading material on it, or some
mm,
specific researches they ask, so we provide all of that. And of
Okay.
course, once they make up their mind, then we are there to teach them.
Hmm. And do you offer online facilities also, online courses or something like that? Or it's only like physical on the sites?
Like I said, it's a very personalized technique. Some sessions we also take one to one. So
Hmm.
we do it at the centers. Some
Only at the
introductory
centers.
sessions we can hold online. We can, if people
Mm-hmm.
have some doubts, we can discuss those doubts with
Mm-hmm.
them online. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to learning, they're welcome at the centers. In person, we teach them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Since the time like you began by the virtue of being a child of parents who were into TM, you began early. So, since in all these years, maybe three decades of time, how much of change have you seen in people's acceptance of TM? Uh, I'm sure the numbers must have grown, but how have they grown?
They have definitely grown. And, since I started teaching, which was about 10, 12 years back, that is about 15
Hmm,
years back that I started teaching, there is much more awareness about it.
hmm,
People already know about meditation and they're just making up their mind to start doing it. And
okay.
a few years back, there were
Hmm,
still some doubts about what meditation is, whether it works or not.
hmm,
So that was there. And, if I talk about a way back when our organization started, which was about 60 years back, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi ji started
60.
60. Maharishi Mahesh
Okay.
Yogi ji, when he started teaching,
Hmm, hmm,
people had not even heard about meditation and yoga. And he
hmm,
started from India and moved on to spread it in the West as well. So,
hmm,
but
hmm,
he started when there was no awareness about it. And meditation was
hmm,
completely treated as something very, very mystical, yoga and meditation.
hmm,
That
hmm,
is
hmm,
when we started working. So, since then,
hmm,
the awareness has grown many, many times.
hmm. Manifold. Acha, what is the like age group of people? Is there any age group or that is more prone to go into meditation?
I would say anyone can do it, and people,
No, no, no.
especially who are,
How, which age group is coming? Anyone can do it is fine, but which age group
yeah,
is coming to do it?
I would say families sometimes come. So it has
Hmm.
parents and children, and probably sometimes the grandparents of the children as well. So families, when they
Okay.
come together, it's all age groups. And I would say
Hmm.
people who start recognizing this need,
Hmm.
that age group comes more, and that this is important. They
Hmm.
felt the importance. So I think mostly the working population,
Hmm.
they really recognize that they really need to do something about this stress that they are facing. But when the
Hmm.
families are there, then all age groups come.
Uh, Okay. And what about adolescents?
They do come. Mostly their parents want them to learn more than them
Hmm.
wanting
Hmm.
themselves, honestly.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it is usually because either parents have learned it and then they know
Hmm.
it is very helpful, and then they want their children to do it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
initially there is a little resistance, like adolescents have in most
Hmm.
most things that they are
Hmm.
asked to do. But then we meet
Hmm.
them, we kind of take them through it, what it is and what change they can expect. And then
Hmm.
they're able to make up their mind, especially when they see that there are so many students worldwide practicing it,
Hmm.
and especially when they
Hmm.
see that it helps them clear the confusion in the mind. They have more
Hmm.
clarity in the thinking process. When they see those researches,
Hmm.
they are quite smart. Even the younger
Hmm.
adults are very smart. When they see these researches,
Hmm.
it really
Hmm.
they really feel that
Affects
okay,
them.
this is not something you know
Hmm.
which is
Not
out of the
something in the
ordinary.
air.
It is scientific. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. So, see, you said that there has been change in the last 60 years. That is fine. That is, but since the time COVID happened, has there been a drastic change after that? Did
Um, Yes, I would say people are
It helped.
more open to adopting alternative solutions. They're
Mhm.
more open to even like for Ayurveda or even for yoga. Similarly, for meditation, there is more openness to adapt more, which were considered as alternative. They're now becoming more mainstream. I feel.
Mhm. So people with mental health issues, stress, anxiety, and depression, and other things, do they come on their own, or are they brought in by their parents? What is the situation? Means mental health is something which is not people don't accept it. No, even till today, people are wary of accepting that there's a mental health issue. They always brush it up. Or वैसे भी, it's like if you talk about mental health issues, immediately the thought crosses to being a mad person. है ना?
Yeah,
Acceptance is
that's
not there. So,
yes.
do people with mental health issues approach on their own, or it is through
Um,
somebody like through third or fourth contact they are brought in?
it's both. I mean, it could vary. Like when
Mm-hmm.
they are a little younger in age, usually their
Mm-hmm.
parents take it up, and they want to
Mm-hmm.
come forward. We've also had people to whom the doctor had recommended that
Acha.
specifically the doctor recommended you should learn transcendental meditation. And
Okay.
yeah, in some cases, yes, the doctor also advised that okay, all of these medications, and apart from that you should start doing some meditation or some yoga like that. So all kinds of
So
uh,
that
cases are
means
there.
parents, doctors is fine, doctors will do. But what I was asking is that are parents accepting that there is a mental health issue with their child? Are they open about it?
um Yes, maybe they haven't really kind of reached a level where it is diagnosed to be, some issue.
Okay.
But when they feel that the, child is not able to cope up or something,
Okay.
yeah, mostly for
They
younger
do.
in age, they don't come on their own. Like, they're
Ah,
accompanied by
ah, ah.
parents. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So can you share with us some specific case which the person wherein the person has shown some great, remarkable benefit to the health after doing transcendental meditation?
There are many such
Mhm.
cases. Specific.
Any, and talk to us about anything so that it is like people know, yeah, this was the case, this happened, and this is where he reached.
Yeah, I remember there was since we're talking about children, there was a child. I think his mother was already practicing it, so she really
Mhm.
knew that it is something good, and the children
Mhm.
should do it. So there were two brothers. The older one kind
Mhm.
of understood. The younger one had a lot of questions. He asked so many
Okay.
questions, and then he was so concerned that what am I going to do, why does my mother want me to do this. And then I explained to him,
Mhm.
then I gave him some examples also. I told him, you've seen Wolverine, this movie, and like, yes, the hero over there
Mhm.
practices TM.
Mhm.
So he was quite impressed.
Mhm.
He said, okay, is that for
Mhm.
real? Like, yes, that's for real. And such
Mhm.
big people also practice it.
Mhm.
So he kind of started making up his mind, and then once he learned,
Mhm.
then after a few days when I met him, he was quite happy. I mean, young
Mhm.
children don't
Mhm.
really, recognize that they are facing stress or
Mhm.
something, but he was just happy
Yeah.
about his practice. And he was like,
Okay.
yeah, I am very happy. I feel good after doing it. So it really was a good feeling.
Any success story from among the adults you would want to talk about?
I mean, something specific, I would say, we've seen improvement among smokers, among chain smokers, that
Okay.
within 4 or 5 days they start having the urge. I mean, the urge becomes less to take up a
Okay.
cigarette. We
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
examples with drug addiction in
Okay.
adults that we've
Uh-huh.
seen. And like we were talking about the university students, So when they're at the university, sometimes they ask, they're very, volatile. Why are you making us do meditation? How will it be helpful? So they have a lot of
mm, mm,
reservations, as we expect.
yeah.
But we explain to them, and so some of the alumni, they came back and they're like, "You taught us
Mhm,
something which was really helpful." And
mm,
they kind of agree. Honestly, we missed out when we were in college, but now we don't miss out,
mm.
because when they
Okay.
started working, they really realized
Hmm,
that they need something to be able to be productive
hmm,
at work, to be able to have that work life balance. So they're like, now
hmm.
we don't miss out.
So, like you are at the university level, and since you are an advisor with them, is there any plan to take it to the school level to begin
Many
early?
schools also practice it. Yes, there are many
Mm,
schools, like our own organization, which has a group of
mhm,
Mercy Vidya Mandir schools. So TM is a
mhm.
part of their curriculum also, school students
So
also.
that is your organization, na?
Yeah.
Away from your organization, like the government schools, the other private schools, the public
Yes,
schools.
yes,
Mm,
yeah, absolutely. There are schools which are practicing it, and it's
mm,
just about giving us that time, because once we
mhm,
need that time to teach students, and schools are, usually they have huge numbers. So,
mm,
and we want to give personal attention to each person. So that
mm,
kind of a time we request from the school, and there are schools who
mhm.
provide that time. And apart
Okay.
from teaching, then the student has to
Mhm,
practice it, because
hmm.
just learning something is not enough unless we
Ah,
practice
yeah,
it.
true, 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 true.
So
So,
then the schools set apart timings like mornings and
hmm,
afternoons, few
mhm.
minutes, and then the students practice it. So yes, schools also.
So have you ever gone to the government, like state government, maybe the UP government, or since you are in NCR, the Delhi government, to begin such a program in schools, in government schools
Yes,
also?
yes, we have approached,
Hmm,
and
hmm,
yes, I think like the government school is a big setup, and taking
hmm,
those kind of decisions definitely take time.
hmm.
But yes, uh,
The
on the
governments are
government
open to
school,
it.
yes, they are definitely very open to it. Very open to it.
Okay.
There are many. I mean, the CBSC has a subject on moral education, which was not there earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
even at the university level, there is a subject which is introduced, wellness and spirituality.
Okay.
So they already want to make it a part of the curriculum.
Hmm, hmm. So has this change been observed in the last 10 years, like the government is open to it, or it was there, it existed there before also, before the present?
As far as I know, I think these changes have been recent,
Mhm.
incorporating in the curriculum itself. They have been really recent. I think for the university, the subject on yoga and spirituality, that came along with the NEP, the National Education Policy.
Okay. Okay. 2021 or 2020, I think, NEP.
Right, yeah, around that time. So these changes, as part of the curriculum, I feel are recent, but
Hmm. Okay.
definitely these things existed before also.
Huh. At the
Yeah, there's
individual
more
level, they
emphasis,
must have, but
more emphasis.
organizational effort began in
Yes,
recently.
yes.
Okay. Okay. You were talking about the like TM takes you to the deeper level of consciousness. So is it, does it also go from a deeper level of consciousness to the PLR,
PLR, that's it.
past life regression? Does a person go into that state? Can a person go
Um,
into that state?
See, with TM, the focus is not really on that. We are
Okay.
what we are accessing is, our own, the deeper level of our own self. And
Hmm.
so the practical value of TM is not going into what caused the stress, or where did the stress come from, or what happened in past life. What
Mhm.
TM does, it removes the stresses
Hmm.
without getting into the analysis.
Hmm.
Because if we start analyzing, The consciousness, it's a huge field.
Hmm.
Big scientists, big saints haven't been able to,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
fathom it on the level of understanding fully.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it is something which can be experienced through TM, and
Hmm.
that is valuable.
Hmm.
I can study
Hmm.
about consciousness. I can read the literature, the Vedic literature, but I will only comprehend it what my level of understanding is.
True.
So to
True.
deepen that understanding, in order to
Hmm.
get the theory part also I need to enrich my experience. So the
Hmm. Hmm.
emphasis with TM is on the solution,
Experience.
on
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
solution, that
Okay.
okay, we are
Hmm.
removing our stress. We're not really analyzing how the stress came
Hmm.
and what happened with us and what happened in the
Hmm.
past life or what happened few years back,
Hmm.
because that's kind of hitting in the dark, because it's such a huge field.
Hmm.
It's such a huge field,
You may or
and
may
it
not
doesn't
get an
work.
answer there.
Yeah, we may or may not get an answer. We may not get a correct answer.
Hmm.
Even
True.
on the level of memory, do we remember
Hmm.
what all we did last week? Maybe not.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's not really
Hmm.
important.
Hmm.
So we work on the level of the solution, which is removing the
Hmm.
stresses, so that we are
Hmm.
able to achieve much more in our day-to-day life, and there's our present life.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
you know, we are
How
able to
is how
experience that
is
consciousness. And
yeah,
yeah.
is TM connected to the Vedas, Vedic learning?
Yes, the origin of TM is the Vedas only. It comes from the
Okay.
Vedic tradition. And the way it
Okay.
is related is that it is actually the experience of Veda. Now,
Okay.
Veda we commonly understand as this literature, only the textbooks.
Mm-hmm.
But like I
Mm.
said, reading those textbooks is not possible for a person, all of those textbooks, reading and understanding them.
Mm. Mm.
So, how does one live Veda? Is by that
Mm.
experience of transcendence.
Mm.
So once we are able to experience that consciousness, experience that transcendence, that is where
Mm.
the Veda is structured.
Mm.
That is
Mm.
where actually Veda, in very simple terms, like what is it? It's like that experience. It's that living experience more
Mm.
than the textbooks.
Mm.
It's that.
Mm. Mm.
And
Bringing that knowledge into your own life.
enlivening
That is
it
what.
within ourselves, enlivening it within
Ah.
ourselves.
Ah. True. True.
And
Okay.
even there's this verse from the Rig Veda, Richo Akshare Parme Vyoman, that
Mm-hmm.
says that even the Vedic riches or the Vedic shlokas cannot do anything for a person who is not open to their own consciousness.
Ha. Right. So TM is opening a person to his or her own consciousness.
Absolutely, so that they can
Ah.
have the experience of Veda. Reading
Ha.
Vedas on the level of learning is good. It's a good practice, and
Ha.
we should do
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
whatever is
Hmm.
possible. But
Hmm.
it's the experience which brings about all of
Hmm.
these changes in our day-to-day lives.
Hmm. So that means with TM is the beginning. If a person like if it's there's a spiritual seeker, so TM is the beginning and the first step, and then you go deeper with practice, or
Um,
maybe a person can go into different other learnings also.
so TM is a complete technique in itself, and we can
Hmm.
easily master it in 4 5
Hmm.
days. So
Hmm.
it's not that with experience we can go deeper. People can have that
Okay.
experience immediately also. So it's very
Okay.
interesting that it's not about the
Hmm.
practice we are inculcating.
Okay.
Definitely, with
Okay.
practice, what happens is that we are more stable, more stabilized in our
Hmm.
experience, and the benefits also grow. And then we can also
Hmm.
go for the advanced techniques of TM if there is interest.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
the benefit of TM itself, and that is the reason within 4 5 days people can experience some benefit. It's not that you
Okay.
practice for a long time to get the results.
Okay. Okay.
That's
That's
very,
pretty
again,
good.
a very unique thing about TM.
That's pretty
That
good.
immediately, that the technique is such that it works immediately as well, irrespective of
Hmm.
years of practice.
So let us know the advanced levels of TA. What is that?
Yeah, so TM, and then there are advanced courses on TM. And one
Mm-hmm.
of the advanced courses is the TM Siddhi program. and the yogic flying
Okay.
program. And
Hmm.
Siddhi, by meaning, it means perfection.
Hmm.
Siddhi. So that the TM
Hmm.
Siddhi program is again characterized by a very deep level of mind-body coordination
Hmm.
and completely effortless techniques, just like TM. And they kind of train the awareness and how to function from a deeper level. So that
Okay.
is the TM Siddhi program. And
Okay.
also the coherence in the brain is very strong at that time. Like I said, there are a lot
Hmm.
of researches are done, and many of the researches are done on brain function. So even
Hmm.
during TM, we see that the brain is functioning in a very coherent manner, like
Okay.
brain waves. If we understand, like if we are,
Hmm.
um, you know, if we are doing something with a lot of concentration, maybe solving a
Hmm.
problem or some right, reading something with intent, then gamma waves are
Hmm.
most predominant.
Hmm.
And suppose like normal we are just not very attentive but just speaking or just in light activity, then beta waves are more predominant. So different
Okay.
brain waves are predominant, and when the practice of TM, the person's brain has a lot of alpha predominance. Now alpha waves are
Okay.
related with rest and awareness, so
Okay.
attentiveness as well as rest. So that's a very unique
Okay.
combination, that the person is
Yeah.
also restful but at the same time also attentive.
Attentive.
So
Yeah.
that coherence we see in the brain with the practice of TM, and more so with the
Okay.
advanced level of the TM Siddhi program and the yogic flying program. There, that
Hmm.
coherence is also much more. And in
Okay.
fact, that coherence is so strong that
Hmm.
if practiced in a group together, it can
Hmm.
also affect the surrounding area. Not just the people who are
Okay.
practicing it, but also people in the
Hmm.
vicinity. So,
My
in
God.
this way, a group of meditating experts, a group of TM Siddhas can also bring
Hmm.
about positive changes in the environment.
Hmm. True.
And there's a lot of
That's
scientific
remarkable.
evidence on this. And also, our Vedic
Hmm.
literature also talks about it. There's a mention in
Hmm.
the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Tat Sannidhau
Hmm.
Vairathyaga, meaning in the
Hmm.
vicinity of positivity, in the vicinity of yoga or
Hmm.
union, the negative
Hmm.
trends go down. So
Hmm.
it's there in the literature and it's backed by
Hmm.
modern science, and Maharshiji has brought it on
Yeah.
the level of experience of people as well. So
Yeah.
that is what is of value. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me now, like where all these do you have these centers for TM? And if suppose somebody wants to join, uh, do TM, what's the way?
We have centers across the world. In India,
Okay.
also many cities have it, like Delhi NCR, we have centers.
Hmm.
Pune, Lucknow, Hyderabad,
Hmm.
many of the
Hmm.
cities. And our website has the contact information and all.
Okay.
So people can
Okay.
go there and then find out which center works for them. And
Okay. Okay. And abroad, what all
outside India,
countries are you
also,
present?
almost all countries, I would say, almost all countries.
Huh?
Almost all
Like
countries we have a
US,
teacher.
Europe.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
US law, many teachers are there in US and Europe.
Okay.
Almost all countries.
Okay. So from here, what do you look at? What kind of future do you foresee for TM?
Future for TM, what I feel is that this is such an easy and effective
Hmm.
meditation technique that
Hmm.
if a person can adopt it, it can really transform
Hmm.
their lives.
Hmm.
That is the potential of this technique.
Hmm.
And
As
it
more and
makes
more
us very
people.
independent, it makes us very independent. Like we are not really dependent on anything to practice it. It
Hmm.
makes us very self-sufficient. That what I feel.
Hmm. And one thing I forgot to ask, how many hours a day is required for learning it?
2 hours per day for 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah,
Okay.
approximately 2 hours every day for
Hmm.
these 4 5 days. And once you learn it, then you only need minutes, not hours. 20
Ah,
minutes
ah,
morning and then 20 minutes in the evening.
okay. ठीक है. So thank you so much, Aditi, for talking to us. And it has really been a learning experience for me from you. I didn't know. I had read about TM, I think, at lot many places, but I never connected with it. I never thought that it will be something so good. And I would uh, just request my viewers to have this experience, because the kind of life we are living, we require this. So if you are struggling with meditation, go all the more to TM and learn from it. Connect to a center near you, and I'm sure MUIT is there to help you. So thank you so much, Aditi, for talking to us.
Thank
Wish you
you.
all the best for your further endeavors. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, Rajkumari ji. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Namaskar. Yeah, thank you.